Brought to you by Penguin.
Chloe's Song, written by Leslie Thomas, read by Lyndsay Sandison. You make me feel brand new. Stylistics, 1974. Chapter 1. Early spring, Saturday, Salisbury Market Day, and, as it happened, Grand National Day too. They drove me from the overnight police station cell to the magistrate's court. For some reason, it was not until they slammed the doors of the van, leaving me like a dog in a cage, that the seriousness of my position really dawned on me. It was not every day they had a decent housekeeper of 44 on a murder charge. The young policeman who slammed the door on me was genuinely apologetic. "You can't shut these doors softly, love," he said. "They're only meant for slamming." "Why is that?" Apparently no one had asked before. "Something to do with authority, I suppose," he said. "Showing the prisoner who's boss." I had plenty of time to get used to resounding doors. As we travelled, they told me cheerfully that the van was different from the normal transport I would be using to and from prison. "When you come up, when you're on remand," said the boyish constable. He was younger than my son, Donny, would be now, if only I knew where he was. "When you go backwards and forwards to court, they use prison vans. They're privatised." He was sitting in one of 4 rows of upright seats in the front, a cage of thick wire between us, so that we had to peer at each other through the metal squares. Although the others were empty, I could imagine them full of rather comic Gilbert and Sullivan-type policemen, sitting straight with their truncheons held vertically and singing in chorus. "All prison transfers are done by a security company," contributed the driver, a woman constable with a round, shiny face. "We don't get the time, do we, Phil?" Phil said no, Patty, they didn't. I not only felt apprehensive now, I felt foolish. They normally used the van, they said, for picking up drunks and druggies around the town. The inner cage surrounded me, squares of toughened wire, and beyond this a smoked window, so that I could see out, but the people in the streets and the market could not see in. I was grateful it was not the other way round. "Funny time to have a court," chatted Phil. "Very rare Saturday afternoon," called back Patty cheerily. "They'd only do it for a murder." Phil looked pained. "Something important," he amended. "We might have to wait until they can rustle up some magistrates." Through the smoked glass window, I saw that we were outside Cooper's cake shop, where I had once worked on Saturdays when I was still young. A boy was putting a tray of pastries in the window, and I thought it might have been one of the sons. And to think I could have been his mother. Then I saw 2 women I had known when they were girls, gossiping and tugging their children towards Woolworths, while I was on my way to prison. We went alongside the market. It was a bright day, and all the colours of the stalls and the goods they sold seemed lit up, even through the smoked glass. My heart was full, because I had killed the one man in my life I had loved dearly. The police van turned into the old Guildhall, parking alongside the market clutter. When I realised, I looked nervously through the special window. I did not want anyone I knew to see me like this. My life was bad enough as it was. "What do you fancy for the National?" asked Phil, as he opened the clanging rear door. I felt sure people would hear it and turn to look. It seemed important for Phil to keep up a conversation. Perhaps he needed assurance. The driver came around to the back of the vehicle. "I've got Tearaway in the sweep," she said. "I didn't get a horse," said Phil. 50 pence down the drain." He regarded me crouched in the cage. There was only just height enough to sit. "Do you want a blanket, Chloe?" he asked with that strange and immediate familiarity policemen seem to have with their prisoners. I thought he had seen me shivering. "I'm not cold," I said. I was just nervous. "I mean, for over your head," he said. "Stop people gawping at you." "Will they?" "If you get a move on, they won't," he said. The driver had gone through a door at the side of the Guildhall and come out again with a big, genial-looking man.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?